Today on Coffee and Conversation with your girl, Shakenya. When you get a minute, go to that YouTube channel, Shakenya, and hit subscribe, guys. Look at some of the videos, and if you see anything that you like, just hit share. And there's a lot of videos on there. You might see videos of me on a radio show with a guest that you might know and like. Share that. You might see me doing painting and drywall. Share and do that. Good morning, Cynthia. Shout out to Flint, Michigan. Yep. So ain't no telling what you'll see, but mainly the videos you're gonna catch is Coffee and Conversation. Hey, Kenya, how you doing, brother? Jigsaw in the house. Chicote Fields in the house. So yeah, ain't no telling what you're gonna get, but mainly Coffee and Conversation is the videos that I want to get across to you that I really want you to share. Yeah. So today, lately we've been talking about the manipulation tips that I taught you in your 9th grade year. And now that you're seniors, we've been looking at how those manipulation tips has affected the children. We're looking at the psychological damage that it has probably caused if you took that child out that parent's life. So we're looking at all of that, right? So I talked to you about the adverse effect and how your child might come out if you continue to do this. But there's some other stuff that if you do it, because I didn't even know what the title today, because it's simple stuff, you know what I mean? It's real simple stuff that you probably do every day that you don't think means anything, but I always tell y'all, it's what's taught, not what's bought. So the things that you do around the house, the things when you out with the kids that they watch you do, like when they say it starts at home, it really, really does. You know, a lot of stuff starts at home, from your mannerisms. So let's start. The outcome of you having, because I don't want to use the adverse effect because I'm using it for the manipulation tips and I don't want to throw y'all off because I want y'all to see what, you know, adverse is like a bad thing. So I don't want to use it while I'm talking about the good stuff. So I'll just say what can happen if you got your babies doing chores. Yep, and just imagine if both of y'all working together and both of y'all got the kids doing chores. And when I say chores, I mean washing dishes. I mean vacuum. I mean sweeping. I mean mopping. I mean teaching them how to sort clothes. I mean all of that. And I mean you got to take the time. Hey Cheris, how you doing, boo? You have to take the time to teach them. Like one thing that I know a lot of mothers do, especially when it comes to our sons, and I put this under the coddling. If you tell them to do something and then they don't do it right, and then you go do it for them. We do it for the girls too, but mainly mamas do it for these boys. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah. If they do not do it right, you go in there with them and you do it with them until they do it right. Okay? Some kids might play on you and use that as a cop out. I don't know how to do it. I know. Yes, you do, because I'm going to show you. I'm going to sit in here with you until you get it right, you know? So that's that. Make them do chores. That'll teach responsibility. Yep. It teach them to be clean, so you ain't got to worry about them being trifling when they out on their own. They'll keep their house clean. Rules. Yep. And if both of y'all got rules at the house that y'all make the kids abide by, that's a good thing. Yep. That teaches discipline. A little structure maybe. Yep. Let's see. Telling the baby no. We talked about that yesterday. Yep. This will help with discipline. Yeah. Punishments. Yeah. It's very important that you punish the child when the child has done something wrong. Yeah. And both of you should punish. Like I remember when the baby did something very, very bad. She lied about something. Yeah. Oh my goodness. And when we found out that she had lied and the steps that she took to lie and the things that she did, oh my goodness. I had her own punishment, and then when I talked to the dad, he said he had her own punishment over there, but he didn't. But if both of y'all got the kids on punishment, let's say you got the baby on punishment, baby's supposed to be on punishment for 2 weeks, but y'all share the child, so the child goes over there for the weekend. Yep, it's very important that the dad or the mom, whoever's sharing that child, whoever has the child for the weekend, imposes the same punishment that you imposed on the child while the child was at your house. Yep, so that's that. That teaches discipline. The baby knows the consequences of their actions if you do that. Yeah. Let me see. If you don't use drugs around that baby, if you don't allow people to use drugs around that baby, if you have to talk with that child about the dangers of drugs and what can happen to their body and their mind and things of that nature, it's a good chance your baby might not use drugs. They might grow up to be adults, and they might not use. Yeah. If you don't use drugs, drink alcohol around them, yeah, they might not. Yeah. If you don't gamble. Now, all this is might. Because ain't no guarantees. Now, I'm telling you, I don't care what you do. I don't care how many precautions you put in place. I don't care how many rules you have. You are not your child's only influence. So when they get out, hey, Blacksmith, hey, Lena Moore. Yeah, when your baby get out in the street, in the real world, and start meeting people, yeah, they gravitate to people. They tend to do what they do sometimes. And, so yeah, you can't take full responsibility. But if you've done your part, it helps in the area of if your child do venture off into that side and start using and start doing it, you can't feel guilty about that. Because if you didn't have people around them that use, like I was real animate about that. Like my mom, by me raising my little brothers, my mom had a lot of friends and they were users. And even one of my little brother's dad was a user, and I would tell him, I want you to be in his life, but you can't come around if you're using. So he would only come around when he was clean. Yeah. So if you've done that, nobody around, no influences that you had around them, you talk to them about the dangers of drugs. If your child uses drugs, that's not on you. I know it hurts you. I know you wish they didn't. I know you wish you could give them the help that they need, but that's not on you as far as you feeling guilty or feeling bad or feeling like you didn't do your part. You did your part. That child made a decision, right? So that's that. Talking to your baby. Yeah, both of y'all got to talk to the baby all the time. This is your opportunity to correct the child when the child uses improper grammar or says something that's not correct. This is your time to correct the baby. So yes, communication and communicating with your baby is so important. It was so important for me to create a safe space for the boys. Yep, when we would have our meetings every so many months, it was their opportunity to tell me how they feel, tell me some of the things that they were going through, and it was our way of communicating and letting it all out and help fix some of those problems if we could. It was a good thing to make them feel comfortable to talk. In my relationships and meeting men, I find a lot of guys are not good at expressing themselves. They're not good at communicating. Some guys, not all. It's a few that I've ran into, and it doesn't make them bad guys. It's just hard to communicate with them, that's all. So yeah, and I find that a lot of guys don't know how to express themselves as far as feelings. Men have feelings too. That don't necessarily mean you emotional like us women. You're not an emotional creature, but you do have feelings. Hey, Dice Clark, how you doing? What up, though? Yeah, but men have feelings, So I felt it was very important for me to make sure my children knew the emotions that they were dealing with at the time they were doing them. I mean, you can and cannot do this, may or may not do this, I don't know. I'm just telling you what I did. If they're, hey, Keith, how you doing, baby? If they're experiencing something at the time, it's good to identify whatever emotion it is that they're feeling. That way they'll know what it is when it happens. Yeah, sometimes it's pretty easy. You feeling sad, you look sad. Yep, it's easy to say sad. You're happy. Yep, you're happy. But it's a lot of different emotions that your body go through. Anger, you know what I mean? Aggression. It's so many. But if you can identify them and help your children to identify them, it helps them when they're dealing with certain things and when they're going through certain things. Yeah. Just saying, just a little tip. So yep, and it was very important for me to talk to the girls every day. Yeah, when we talk about our day, what's going on, I tell them about my day. It was very important for me to talk to them every day. I miss talking to my babies every day. I miss talking to my babies, especially my daughters, because I talk to my sons. But my daughters, every day. Yeah, they used to listen to me. I was an influence in their life. I was a mentor. They respected my advice. You know what I mean? They treated me like a mom at one point. Yeah, I know. I know. If you work every day, that's a beautiful thing for the children to see. They see routine. They get routine. Hey, Cynthia, what you are doing is so dope and special. Have a request. A friend of mine, Valerie Berry, is interested in campaigning for Detroit 5 District Council seat. I would love to introduce you. Yeah, I can't read the rest of it, Cynthia, but I think I know where that's going. You're going to have her come on my show? I would love to have her. And that show we speak of is Motor City Radio. Will come on every Friday at 7 p.m. only on the Vent Network. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Vent Radio. Check out some of the shows and be a guest. Come on, Mark. Oh, damn, I'm getting it mixed up. This caught me in conversation. Let me come back. So, yeah, if you work every day, your child will be able to see a routine. They'll probably have a good work ethic. Yeah. Teach them discipline. And then teach them responsibility. Yeah. If you pay your bills and keep food in the refrigerator and take care of all the children's needs, all their needs are met, Yep. They might get responsibility out of that. Yep. Let's see. Your children got to see you helping people. My children have seen me allow people to live with me. My children have seen me loan people money. My children have seen me take people places and pick people up. My children, yep, you got to show some type of that you help people. And in turn, your children might be that way. They might, because your kids might not be like you. I know. No matter what you do, you're not their only influence. They might not like who you are. Yeah, they got to respect you though, but they might not like who you are. They might not like helping people. They might, and you can't force them to do so. Yeah, but show them so they'll know. Yeah, so let them see you helping people. They might in turn help people. Jay took me because, you know, I'm still without a car. Yeah, hopefully I have one today. Hopefully. God is good, God willing, right? So Jay took me to all my buildings last night. I love him. And if you don't know who Jay is my little brother, but I raised him ever since he was like 5 when I lost my mom, right? Jay is also the little brother and the reason why I started the Attitude Adjustment Youth Program. Yeah. Just couldn't get right when he was little, but now he's grown. He out here in the world. He's a decent man. I thank God for that. Yeah. So he took me around and he told me yesterday one thing that I taught them was to help people. Yeah. If you're in a position and you're able to help, do so. And I taught them this ever since they was little. I would tell them this as well as demonstrate. So for him to say it back to me, it's always good when your kids can recap and tell you what they learned from whatever it is you was trying to teach them. Yeah, it was a beautiful feeling to hear, right? Do you celebrate people? Like, do your children hear you congratulate people? Do they see you congratulate people? Do they see you doing that, you know, and talk about it? Yeah, I remember when such and such was doing this and doing that, and now they here. They did that. You know, do you go that deep as far as your congratulatory speeches and whatnot? Yeah. So your kids got to see that. And in turn, they might. They might be less likely to be haters. Yep. They might be able to give people credit when credit is due. Yep. And they might be the type of people that give people their flowers while they're still here. Because that's very important. I talk to my kids all the time about that, and they see me doing it. You got to let people know how you feel about them while they're here. Like, I know when I die, it's going to be so many people jumping in my casket trying to jump down there with me in that ground because it's so much they probably wish they could have, should have did and should have said. But by the end, it's too late, baby. When I'm gone, I'm gone. That's another thing you teach your kids. Time is valuable. Time is so valuable. That's the most valuable thing you have. I got mink. I got red bottoms. I got all that name brand stuff. I got my bottle. Y'all see me with a different bottle on every day. I Cardi's. I say, yeah. So that don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. That's one thing I tried to teach my children. I never wanted them to be materialistic. Like, it's one thing to expose them to the finer things of life and let them know that exists and whatnot, but you also got to let them know that's not what's going to make you happy. Yeah. All that stuff can be replaced. It means nothing. But your time, you can't never get that back. All this time I'm wasted not being with my babies, oh my God, I can't never get that back. And God forbid if something happened to me before we make amends. Do you know how much resentment? Fix it, Jesus. So, yep, celebrate people. Do you apologize to your kids? Whatever you've done wrong to them or feel like you've done wrong, have you ever apologized to them? Remember, I created the apology game. Like, if you ever see anything in your children, characteristics, hey, Rob, hey, William, hey, Lois, things that you don't like in your babies, and if you sit back and think about how they became that way or why they acting that way, and if you are the reason why, or if somebody that you brought around them is the reason why they acting the way they act, you owe that baby an apology. Yup. Let me tell you something. My kids seen me intoxicated twice. I'm still apologizing for that. I'm still apologizing to them for that. 50 years I've been on this earth. They seen me drunk maybe 2 or 3 times, and I'm still, because they shouldn't have to see you like that. Kids shouldn't see you like that in that state. They just shouldn't, right? So yeah, apologize to them for that. Apologize to your children if it's anything that you do wrong. Yep. You disappoint them, apologize. Hey, Lenora, how you doing, baby? Yep. Anything you do wrong to them, apologize to them for that. Yep. Let me see. Have have your children ever seen you come through something devastating, something tragic? Have they seen you come through it? Like when we lost our house, we knew it was going into foreclosure or whatever. I ended up with the little money that I had saved up. I ended up getting into a situation where it was like a rent to own. So for like a month and a half, he told me I could have it as long as I brought the house up to code. I pretty much stayed in that house day and night, working by candlelight to get that house up to code and get it ready to move my family in, so that we wouldn't be homeless, right? So I'm quite sure the boys knew what was going on because they was old enough. The girls just knew that we were moving soon, and that's all they needed to know. If they knew anything other than that, somebody had to tell them. Somebody had to be like, yeah, your mama lost that house. Your mama couldn't afford to stay there. Yeah. And then I'm quite sure they didn't tell the whole story, because if they would have told the whole story, they would have knew that my ex-husband left us with nothing, left me with his daddy to take care of, and we didn't have no money, you know, but the little money that I managed to save up. So the fact that I did that, that should have taught them resilience. Yeah. That should have taught them just the drive that I had to even do it. You know what I mean? The confidence that they can do it, you know. It ain't no telling what they could have got from seeing me do that. Damn, that was deep. Cause yeah, I actually fixed that house. I fixed it. I painted it. I did all the electrical. And moved us in there. So they watched me do that. You know, you'll be surprised what your kids take from the things that you do and the things that you go through. Maybe they will learn they can get through it. Yeah, nothing is never that bad, you know. Ain't no telling. You think of some things that they could probably get out of watching me get that house together for us to move in it, to prevent us from being homeless. Yeah, that's a hell of a thing. Like, I should get mad love and respect for that. Mad love and respect, yeah. Man, looking at me. I forgot I'm in a public place. I'm just... I wish I had a sign to say, I'm famous. It's okay. I'm famous. Yeah, let me see. Snow. Do you encourage your little boys to get out and shovel snow to earn money? I know this is a long one today, guys. I'm just trying to cover a lot of bases. Yeah. Yep, it's very important. No, you probably don't think it means nothing. Yep, you used to do it when you was a kid, but for some reason you're not imposing it or making your kids or encouraging them to do so. I don't know why. But your boys, all your little boys should be out shoveling snow on their money. Yeah. They help shape them as a man, believe it or not. Yeah. It's like a rites of passage to be out there shoveling snow, earning money. Yeah. And they become earners. They become hard workers. You might even spark an idea of them becoming entrepreneurs, maybe starting their own landscaping service. Because even when the snow thaw out, you should have your kids out there cutting grass and earning money. Yep. So yeah, it's very important that you have them do that. Very important you have them do that. And then when they start earning their money, that's when you start teaching them money management. That's when you start teaching them to save. And then as they grow, teach them about investments. You got to keep that train rolling. Keep it rolling, yeah. And your girls, it's very important that you have them babysit. Everybody wonder how I stopped that generational curse of having children at 17. Yeah, it's very important that you have your little girls babysit. Yeah, it's birth control. Yeah, they probably ain't gonna want no kids too early, too soon by watching other people's kids. It prepares them for motherhood, though. Yep, and it teaches them how to be more nurturing, how to care for somebody, how to take care of somebody. Yep, so it's very important that you have your little girls babysit their little cousins or their little nieces or their little nephews and pay them. And pay them, because that's a good way for them to earn money. They become hard workers. Yeah, they save money. Talk to them about saving money. Talk to them about money management. And do what you say. Say what you're going to do and do what you're going to say. Try not to disappoint your babies. If you say you're going to do something for them, do it. Yeah, that's one thing. I done disappointed my kids on a couple of different occasions, but I apologize to them for doing so, and I try to make it right. Yeah, if I can't do it right then and there, I try to do it at some point in time. Yeah, you don't want to disappoint your baby. So you say you're going to do something, do it. That helps them with learning that their word is their bond. Yeah, that helps with that. Yeah. And it helps them to do what they say they're going to do. Yeah, if you do it. Yeah. And also support your friends. Support your family and friends. If the kids see you doing it, then they might support their family and friends. Like I had a girlfriend who went to school to be a minister, a preacher, pastor. I know it's a school that I can't think of the name of right now, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I went to school, and every time she would speak at a church, I made sure me and my girls was in attendance. I made sure we were in attendance to support her. I got a girlfriend that does clothes. I made sure me and my daughters would go to the fashion show. You got to support your people, and your kids got to see you do that. Show up for your babies. You gotta show up for your babies. Show up for your babies, yeah. Cause see, when I was a child, I ran track, I was in modern dance, I played the flute, I played the snare drum, sung in the choir, handstand, but nobody never came to none of my events, nobody never came to none of my track meets, nobody never came to see me perform, nobody never came, right? So, I ain't bitter about it. I'm mad about it right now. I'm over, I'm grown, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just letting you know. So as it poured over into my parenting, I tried not to miss any games. I didn't miss any award ceremonies. I didn't miss many parent-teacher conferences. Yeah, but I attended 2 games in one day because both my daughters played basketball and volleyball. Y'all heard this all before, right? Not doing nothing no different than what you're doing, but when you do that, first of all, that's just solidify a spot in your children's lives. I tell you that. Yeah, because we know, it's quick for somebody to say, well, that's what you're supposed to do. But how many people do what they're supposed to do? Yep. And then when it comes to your children, how many of your kids do what they're supposed to do? Yeah, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, your kids supposed to do. Because you got some children that won't do what they're supposed to do and then try to blame you for their shortcomings and what they don't have. And not if you're doing what you're supposed to do. Yeah, that's a two-way street right there. That's a two-way street. So, yeah, you showing up for your kids, that in turn help them to know when their kids grow up that that's very important, especially when they think about the feeling that they get to see you out in the stands and see you there and see you present. Yeah. So, yep, that's one thing. And then also, in turn, they should be there for you. If you were that type of person and parent that made the sacrifices to take them to school, no matter how much gas costs, to be there no matter what else you had scheduled for that day, because you're doing what you're supposed to do, yeah, but it's a lot of sacrifices that come with that, to make sure you do that, make sure that you're present, right? Kids need to know that, right? You need to know that, because that's preparing them for when they become parents, right? So, yeah, show up for your babies, and in turn, they should show up for you. So, y'all, that's it for Coffee and Conversation. I gotta get to that cigar bar. Hey, G, how you doing, baby? Mwah.